three fantastic announcements. The governor of the state of California has recently appointed Commissioner Cecilia Judicial. Commissioner Dina Amani as deputy superintendent. And we are most thrilled. These two are unbelievably extraordinary women. They have both been in the family law courthouse, and we are unbelievably thrilled. The only thing I can say is that because Commissioner Jewell got appointed, we lose her in our child support department, so it's a loss to us, but it's a gain to the bank. So congratulations, ladies. Now I go on straight. This is our 16th annual Judicial Officer of the Judicial Officers of the Year ceremony for the Western San Bernardino County Bar Association. This year, our Judicial Officer of the Year is the Honorable Michelle Gilleece. Our Lifetime Achievement Award goes to the Honorable Commissioner Michael Gassner. And our Mitchell Roth Service Award goes to Ms. Frank. We are honored and privileged to have so many dignitaries here. I want to take an opportunity to introduce them. Please hold your applause. As much as you love them, when you hear their name, give a small hooray, huzzah, whatever you like, silently, so we can get through this because your dinner is on the way. Our judicial officers in attendance today are as follows. The Honorable Kyle Brody, one of our members. Honorable David Cohn, Honorable Rod Cortez, Honorable Dina Amani, Honorable Cecilia Judicial, Honorable Michael Nish, Honorable John Ferguson, Honorable Michelle Laurent, Honorable Douglas Mann, Honorable Marie Myers, oh, she is. Oh, there you go. Honorable Lynn Ponson, Honorable Tony Raphael, Honorable Tara Riley, Honorable Runa Rodrigo, pardon me, Honorable Lisa Rogan, thank you, Judge Rogan, for being here. Honorable William J. Snyder, Jr., Honorable John Wilkerson, Honorable Glenn Ubuno, Judge Ubuno, thank you for being here. Commissioner Dave Brewster, Commissioner Michael Gassner, Commissioner Laurel Hone, Commissioner Michael Lowe, Commissioner Daniel Lowe, Commissioner Shannon Suber. And I hope I haven't missed anyone. Please give our judicial officers a nice applause. We also have some very distinguished individuals in the room. J.C. Anderson is our San Bernardino County District Attorney. Ana A. Franco is from the Office of Assemblymember James Ramos. And Marco Anzora is from the Office of Congressman Pete Aguilar. We have some previous Western San Bernardino County Bar Association presidents in attendance. Randall Hanna, Diane Hartog, Justin King, Dee McVeigh, who also is the president of the newly formed Pride Bar Association of the Inland Empire. Fernando Vargas, Will Wooten, and Commissioner Laurel Hone. From our sister organizations, we have Justin King, who is the current president of the San Bernardino County Bar Association. Previous past presidents of that organization, Tom Dominic, John Lowenthal, and the Honorable Wilfred J. Schneider. And we also have in attendance today several students from the Laverne University College of Law. We have a past bar president, Jim Heidi. We have past Judicial Officers of the Year recipients, Honorable Glenn Ubuno. We have past recipients of our Jennifer Brooks Lawyer of the Year Award, John Lowenthal, Jason Anderson, Byron Thompson. Past recipients of our Mitchell Roth Service Award was Fulton and Pablo Ramirez, and past Legal Assistant of the Year, Susie Carrillo. Our evening would not be possible without the tiresome work of the Bar Association and the Board of Directors and the officers, for that matter, that serve on our board. And so, if you would be so kind, would you give them a round of applause? Our evening also would not be possible without the very generous donations of our sponsors, so I'd like to announce them and give a very big thank you to them. Our diamond sponsors, David Goldstein, William Shapiro, Louis Greenboy, Scafidi, Farouk, and Gardner, Chernoff, Bedard, and Echeverria. And by the way, Michael Scafidi, where are you?
He's ill.
Well, happy birthday in his absence. Our platinum sponsors, Larson LLP, Lord and Brooker, Rizio, Lipinski, and Heidi. Our gold sponsors, Fullerton, Lehman, Schaefer, and Dominic. Honorable Wilford J. Schneider Jr., law offices of Fernando Vargas, law offices of James McGee, law offices of Joyce Holcomb. Our silver sponsors, Anthony Sears, Focus Litigation Solutions, Honorable Tara Riley, retired, my office, Justin King, Randall Hanna, Matthew Taylor, receiver and partition referee, Price Law Firm APLC. And we have also our bronze sponsors, the Honorable Kyle Brody, the Honorable Lisa Rogan, the law offices of Jennifer Daniel and the University of Laverne, College of Law and Public Service. Finally, we have a very lovely sponsor in Laurel Starks that she has provided you the wine. So, at this time, we're going to recess. We're going to ask you to please enjoy your dinner, and then we're going to get started with the balance of our program. Thank you so much. Mitchell Roth was a very, very dear friend of mine and probably just about everybody else in the room. He was a well-established and respected probate attorney in the Inland Empire who gave of his time and energy not only for the probate department, but he sat pro tem regularly and consistently, and he generously served the board of directors for 25 years on for our organization. He promoted and established this service award, and when he passed, the board unanimously voted to rename the award the Mitchell Roth Service Award. Our hearts are always sorrowful when we think about Mitchell Roth, and in recognition of his service, we rename the award. The award is given to someone who goes above and beyond in our legal community, and that particular individual that we have identified this year unanimously by our board was Ms. Frank. And in order to properly address all that she has done and give you a flavor of who she is, I'd like to invite Mr. Holcomb.
Well, thank you, Madam President. Good evening. I am Joyce Holcomb. I am not only a board member of the Western San Bernardino County Bar Association, I am also the president of Legal Aid Society, in which Ms. Frank is our office manager. But before I talk to you about Ms. Frank this evening, I would like to just say a few words about our dear friend, Mitch Roth. Mitch left us too soon, and by having this award named after him, it is our way of honoring him. And I'm certain that many of you are were friends with Mitch, and right now he is rolling in his grave. Because he never wanted to receive an award. And every time I take this stage to give this award, it reminds me of the covenant that I'm breaking with him. But Mike Scafidi is the one that really broke the covenant because he named the award after him. So if there's anyone who's really mad at, it would be Mike Scafidi. Mitch dedicated 25 years to the Western San Bernardino County Bar Association. Not only did he dedicate his time, but he dedicated his money, He also served on the Legal Aid Society at a time when our organization was going through a major restructure. Unfortunately, we had to let go of some employees, and Ms. Frank was one of the employees that Bill Shapiro, Mike Scafidi, Dean McVeigh, Bill Lemon, Derek Raines, myself, we saw that she was different. And we felt that in our restructure, we needed to have someone that had foundation to help us get to where we are today. We selected Paulo Ramirez to be our executive director, and he did all of these spectacular things that we needed for the technology, the funding. But behind the scenes of Mr. Ramirez is Ms. Frank. You may notice that in the program that we don't have a picture of Ms. Frank. And when she takes the stage, I guarantee you may not know her as Ms. Frank. You know her as a different name. I am going to share with you, my friends, my family, a little bit about Ms. Frank. She's a survivor. She is a survivor of intimate partner domestic abuse. And I'm not talking about just your run-of-the-mill abuse. I'm not going to go into details. She shared with me a book, and it's too much for me to really share. It's not appropriate for this time. But I'm going to ask that because this is being recorded, and because there are pictures being made, and a lot of us post on social media, that we love Miss Frank enough, that we protect her. And let me just tell you, what she's had to endure in order to survive is unthinkable. She had to leave her home. She had to leave her family. She had to leave her state. She had to give up her property. She had to give up her education. And when I say education, whatever degrees that she had to walk away from. Whatever property that she had, bank account, she had to walk away from in order for her to survive. I can't imagine what that type of journey is, but I will say this. When we announced, Dean and I and our board announced at our holiday party that she was going to receive the award, she had a face she was absolutely elated. And I noticed her face went to fear. And when I saw the fear, I wasn't certain what that was. I thought maybe it was about public speaking. She later shared with me her story. It's not my story to tell, and I won't do that this evening, but I'm going to personally ask you to protect Miss Frank tonight, and we're going to refer to her as Miss Frank, because her tormentor will be out of prison one day, and we want her to be safe. So, the reason why Miss Frank is receiving the award is not because of her many facets of her life. It's for what she's done for our legal community. Yes, she works for a nonprofit organization, Legal Aid Society, but she is much more than just that. She actually comes to our events. She's regularly here at the Western San Bernardino County Bar Association, and she's working the room. And she has a smile on her face, and she is talking to each and every one of you, asking you to give volunteer hours to legal aid. She's at the Laverne Law School, and she's reaching out to law students who want to become attorneys, and she is putting on the face. She is the face of our organization. And when it comes to our organization and the employees, she is the buffer. She's the one that she takes the criticism. She takes all of the phone calls from our clients who are upset. She is the one, she takes the brunt. And she does it with a smile. And that is why I am so excited that you are receiving this award. No matter what happened, no one should have to live in fear. And tonight is your night, and we're going to make sure that you know that you are loved.
Remain on the stage with me tonight because I thought it might be nice that both of us instead of people come on this time. Congratulations.
Thank you for that introduction, Joyce. Now you guys know a little bit more about me. I'm deeply honored to stand here before you today as a recipient of the Mitchell Roth Service Award. I want to express my gratitude to whoever nominated me for this. Recognition holds special meaning to me because it reflects the values that Mitchell Roth himself exemplified: dedication, integrity, and unwavering commitment to serving others. As I accept this award, I am reminded that service is never a solo endeavor. I would not be here without the incredible support from those around me, my team, my family, my friends, my work wife, Naomi. Together we share triumphs, weather challenges, and upheld belief that meaningful change happens when we uplift one another. When COVID hit, we all were given the opportunity to collect unemployment. But every staff member chose to continue working, serving others. We did so with limited equipment and one shareable document. That memory remains a powerful reminder of why we do what we do. It's not for the recognition or the accolades, but for the knowledge that we made a difference, no matter how small it seems at the time. Over time, I've learned that service isn't about grand gestures, it's about the consistency of showing up and making small, meaningful changes that collectively create a ripple effect. This award is not just a celebration of what has been accomplished, but also a call to continue striving for excellence in service. Mitchell Roth's legacy challenges us to remain steadfast in the dedication to making a difference, no matter how big or small, and I promise to carry this forward. And with that, I'd like anybody who wants to volunteer to stop by my table at the end. Jeff will take your information. Thank you for this honor.
Judicial Lifetime Achievement Award, and our recipient this year is Commissioner Michael Gassner. We do not give this award out every year or every time we have a Judicial Officer of the Year award ceremony. This is restricted for when and if we believe a particular judicial officer is worthy of the award. For purposes of this, it can be a retired judicial officer, it can be a commissioner, it can be a justice of the Court of Appeals, it can be for San Bernardino County, Eastern Los Angeles County, or Riverside County. So we actually have a wide net in terms of who we will consider for this particular award. And it is bestowed upon an individual who has achieved significant length of service as a judicial officer, and has demonstrated a long term of consistent contribution to the betterment of the judiciary and the public that it serves. To introduce Commissioner Gassner, as we lovingly call him Commish, I'm going to invite Ms. Holcomb back.
All right, I was so lucky I was chosen twice, so thank you, Commissioner Gassner. Commissioner Michael J. Gassner is receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, I have to tell you a little bit about Commissioner Gassner, who we call Commish. This is my third time giving this speech for a Lifetime Achievement Award at a different organization, so I feel like a little bit of deja vu right now. But his entire life, from the time he was born, from Beverly and Larry Gassner, he had big shoes to fill. And for those of us who've been practicing long enough to know Beverly and Larry Gassner, you know that Larry was a great litigator and family law attorney. Beverly was just as equally in her own right. But also, she authored Family Code 3102 and 3103, and she was a civil rights activist. And his entire life, he had to follow in his parents' footsteps. And oh, by the way, the East-West Family Law Council was founded by his parents. Commissioner Gassner sits in what is now Department 55. Back when I first came into the legal community, it was Department 4. Judge Ingro, John F. Ingro, sat in that department. And then Cookie McPeters presided in that department. Brian McCarville, Ben Kayashima. Those are jurists that have so much history in our legal community. And for him to sit, what is formerly Department 4, it's always Department 4 to me, by the way. He has big shoes to fill. But not only has he filled those shoes, he has surpassed what his mom and father had established and the jurists that sat there before him. Because he has won from AAML, from the State Bar of California, the Kaufman-Campbell Award, which is the most esteemed award in our community. As a commissioner, he won that. He's won the Lifetime Achievement Award from the East-West Council and San Bernardino County Family Bar Association gave him the Lifetime Achievement Award. And tonight, you are receiving the Western San Bernardino County Bar Association. You're the Tom Brady of our legal community. And I don't know if I'll live long enough to see someone to get all of those achievements, but I will say this. I am so elated for me to do this for the third time for you. Congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award. They're going to have to start making other awards up in order to give you another one.
So I have a few words to also say about our beloved Commish. And I love that we all call him Commish. And I love that he lets us call him Commish. And it sometimes, to a certain degree, breaks down the wall that's there, that when you walk into the department, you say, it's going to be an okay day. And that's really what you get every single time you go into Commish's department. When I think of Commissioner Gassner, I honestly can't even remember a time when he wasn't on the bench. He's been on the bench since before I became a lawyer. He took the bench in 1972. That's so long. I don't remember. But before that, he was a certified family law specialist, one of the first few that became a certified family law specialist. And he's been in Rancho Cucamonga Court in family law and civil, and he's been in San Bernardino Court in family law. And he's been on our bench for a really long time. And he is absolutely the go-to person in that courthouse. If you have a question, he is the person that's going to say, here's where you go find the answer. And it comes off the top of his head. I remember when I was teaching at the law school, I asked him if he would be so kind as to review my final exam report. And he did me the great honor of asking me to do the same for his. And I read his final exam and I went, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not taking this class. Because I thought to myself, wow, this is just issue spotting all over the place. But he did a fantastic job in that regard as well. He is perhaps one of the most decorated individuals in this room, in this county, in our community. And Joyce mentioned a couple of them, but I think it's worthy when you have a Lifetime Achievement Award that you identify and you acknowledge the kinds of things that has gone on in this individual's life and how he's been recognized already by others within our community. So I know this it embarrasses you a little bit, Kamish, but I'm doing it anyway, and here we go. 2011, San Bernardino County Bar Association Judicial Officer of the Year. 2001, State Bar of California, Family Law Division, Judicial Officer of the Year. 2002, Distinguished Alumni for the Laverne College of Law. 2014, the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, Distinguished Jurist. 2016, East-West Family Law Council Lifetime Achievement Award. 2017, Family Law Legacy Award, Joint Board, San Bernardino and Riverside County Organizations. 2023, California Assembly Award Certificate of Recognition. 2023, Kaufman Campbell Judicial Distinguished Jurist Award, and who's only the second commissioner in the history of the Kaufman Campbell Award to get the award. He also served on the Elkins Task Force. This was a task force that was put together by the Judicial Council to work towards efficiency, fairness, and access to justice in the family law arena. There were about 30 people statewide, and Kamish was one of those 30. You can imagine if anyone that you could select statewide, the state of California, to serve on this commission. Our own Kamish was one, and he was the only representative on that commission for all of the Inland Empire. And he helped to pave the way to talk about fairness and access to justice in the family law arena. It's a testament to really who he is, that he's had the individuals that work with him in the courtroom that have stayed with him for so long. Karen Diggs, 20 plus years, was his court reporter. He had, Deputy Cindy Stone for 8 years. I don't even know how many years he had Crystal Burton, who's a previous awardee of our organization in his department. His current J.A. Juliet, his current deputy Felicia, these people, they'll do anything for Kamish because he's such an outstanding leader. And that's a testament to his leadership, it's a testament to his influence and his dedication. So with all this, what he really wants you to know is he's just a soccer guy. It's true. And he has built soccer teams from scratch. In 2004, he was the Coach of the Year for Section 1 AYSO for all of Los Angeles, all the way through Las Vegas. He's a U16 girls travel team coach. They're going to nationals in July. He's a lead master coach for U4 and U5 programs in Rancho Cucamonga. And even after his knee replacement, which many of us in this room know, he said he would be back in 2 weeks, wasn't, but he was on the soccer field. And then he was out skiing. Why? Because there's nothing that can stop Kamish. That's why. To use his words, he would say something to the effect of, someone came into his department when he first started and said, you know, what do you think about your new assignment? How are things going to go? And at that time, his mother was still practicing law. And he said, the best thing about my new assignment is if Mom wants to come and see me, she has to pass a gun-toting bailiff to do so. I thought, okay. Kamish is married to his beautiful wife, Maria, and for almost 39 years. And he did want me to mention that his wife is, for the second time, going to be receiving Teacher of the Year award through her employment. So congratulations. His daughters are Elena and Nicole. Elena is married to Alex, and they have two grandchildren, Kai and Alani. Is that correct? Alani. And his daughter Nicole is married to Tyler. So he is, even though he could be staying home and doing all the fun things that grandparents do, he's decided that he wants to still come to court every day and administer justice. I really can't think of someone more devoted than you. It's really been a staple in my life and in my career. And it's about damn time that this organization, the Western San Bernardino County Bar Association, recognized him. Commissioner Gassner, congratulations.
I feel like I've come full circle in a couple of ways. First, the law offices of Gassner and Gassner were right across the street in the 337 North Vineyard building. So here I am, again in the same place where it started. Mom's no longer with us, but yes, she did draft the grandparent visitation statutes, and I could share funny stories about that, but I'll leave that alone for now. What's less known is Dad helped draft the family code. The family code didn't exist until 1992 and became law established in California January 1st, 1994. But I also came full circle another way, because I got introduced to the Western Bar Association when I was in college. I never intended to be a lawyer. I never intended to go to law school. I was a soccer guy. I was a baseball guy. And do you know the Western Bar Association, which I think of as the West End Bar Association, had a softball team. And they were short a player or two. And Dad said, my son can play. And so I go out there, and there were all these guys I viewed as old. I think the year's maybe 1977, my hair is black. And on first base, there's a guy by the name of Dennis Cole, who I know as Judge Cole retired. On third base is this attorney by the name of Jeff King, who I know as Judge King and Justice King. And all of us eventually worked on the fourth floor in Rancho. In the outfield, we had a fellow by the name of Barry Plonkin, who now know as Judge Plonkin. And I guess if you can hit the ball pretty well, they invite you back. And so I played a couple of seasons with these guys. Now here I am, standing with you, 45 or 50 years later, and I'm trying to figure out how in the heck did this happen. Well, I can't do it without a lot of support. And all the families have been introduced. Lorena, been with me forever, over 4 years now. Nicole and Elena. By the way, Nicole, you're having a birthday tomorrow. Congratulations. It's true, we have 2 grandchildren, Kai and Alani. Kai is 3. They don't have a soccer program for 3-year-olds. So I said I would create one. In Rancho Cucamonga now we have 53 3-year-olds signed up for me, and almost 100 4-year-olds signed up for me. Find me at Borough Park every Saturday, and yes, I am taking a travel team to the national game. So I'm not important, but I did train my first soccer team as a head coach in '78, and I haven't stopped, and I played regularly through the age of 50, and I have the knees to prove it. Can't do it without our family and our staff. Felisa came to us in 2014. You're the pro now. Julie and Andrea, part of the team. We work together. We rely on each other every day. We can't do it without each other. The family law judges, we support each other. The entire bench at San Bernardino, we support each other, and I couldn't be prouder to be a part of you. But as you figured out by now, we use our best effort every day. We know each family, in each file, in each case every day. We do the best that we can for our families as they go through difficult times, and we help them navigate some waters that they don't like traveling through to try and get them to the proper result. And we do this with the help of each other. And if you can do it as long as we have and have the respect of your peers, we have everything. So I thank you. And tomorrow, I'll just handle it on our phone. Thank you.
Judicial Officer of the Year, and I couldn't be more thrilled that it is the Honorable Michelle Gilleece. She's a rock star. Wow. She sat in family law not long enough. Whoever's listening, whoever's in the building that has the opportunity to do anything about this, we'd love to have her back. No. She's just a rock star. The Judicial Officer of the Year Award is our annual award, which honors a current or retired judge, commissioner, or Court of Appeals justice from San Bernardino County, Eastern Los Angeles County, and Riverside County. So again, you can see how we have a broad stroke in terms of who we will consider for this award. It is for someone who's demonstrated a long-term commitment to the local, legal, and judicial community, including significant work in upholding and providing impartial justice for all, improving the interaction between the judiciary and the bar, improving access for the low and moderate income litigants to the court system, and one who exhibits appropriate judicial demeanor, by improving the efficiency and effectiveness of our courts. For purposes of a proper introduction, I would ask to invite Judge Riley up.
Good evening. My name is Tara Riley. I am Judge Tara Riley, retired. Judge Michelle Gilleece is a Southern California girl. Born and raised, except for a brief stint, I just learned this fun fact, in Saudi Arabia. The daughter of a civil engineer that decided he was going to take his family and see a few of the sights in another area of the world. She received her undergraduate diploma from Claremont McKenna, That is a great way to determine age in this area, because some of us remember it as Claremont Men's. And I think it's wonderful they found someone named McKenna who was willing to have the school named after them. She then received her JD at Tulane University in New Orleans. I'm shocked to find out that there is a law school in New Orleans and that people study and actually get a degree there. After her law school career ended, her first legal position was as a public defender in an absolutely gorgeous Whidbey Island, which is in the Puget Sound in the gorgeous state of Washington. She was there for about 5 years and then headed back to Southern California. She didn't immediately go back into the law. She worked for the Claremont colleges for a while, and then she also worked for the mayor in Riverside. Ultimately, she joined the law firm, and many of you may be familiar with this firm, Mr. Gardner in particular, of Friedman, Getty, and Gardner. And Judge Gilleece became an advocate in our juvenile dependency court. And she worked there for a number of years. And much like Commissioner Gassner just talked about family law, if you can last in dependency court for years with the esteem and respect of your colleagues and the bench, that says an awful lot about who you are as a human being, at least in my opinion. Having sat there and made it for 1 year as a judge. In her years on the bench, she has heard cases in probate, conservatorships, guardianships, behavioral health, affectionately known among many of us as Ward B, the care court, family law, and the ever popular traffic and small claims. She is the proud mama of her daughter Megan, who, I love this, is an artist living in Asheville, North Carolina, and her son Miles, who is about to graduate from college next month, as I recall, in a computer science, math-oriented field. She and I have discussed how having a child in those fields is so different from anything we could possibly have imagined doing ourselves. I would like to share with you, though, and many of you already know this, the essence of her character, in my mind, was on full display last year as she negotiated her way through a rather nasty bout of breast cancer. Many of us here tonight witnessed her quiet grace and bravery, her strong sense of self, and her outrageously wonderful sense of humor. No one in this room could rock that gorgeous bald head with those awesome chunky earrings that she did every day in the courtroom and out of the courtroom. Several of her colleagues were kind enough to share remarks about Judge Gilleece, and especially would like you to know why they believe she is the perfect choice for this award. Where to start? Those were the opening words in the email from Judge Damian Garcia. There are so many kind things to say about Judge Gilleece. She's a strong and caring leader, a positive mentor to new judicial officers and to folks that are new to probate, which is almost every lawyer you're ever going to meet. She is always available to listen to my venting. That's such a lovely judicial word for bitching. She was happy always to provide guidance and is especially open to ideas for improvement in that practicing area for the bar, for our constituents, and even for her colleagues who are working those caseloads. Judge Doug Mann, not to be outdone, said, you know, it's really difficult to overstate the impact that Judge Gilleece has had within our court. She's an incredible mentor to newer judicial officers, always available and willing to share her time and her talent. And as a supervising judge in probate, she has secured much needed resources for the bench, the bar, and the citizens of our county. Judge Candace Garcia Rodrigo, on vacation and unavailable made herself available to give this information. She describes Judge Gilleece as kind, supportive, funny, and very personable. She's an exceptional role model. As my supervising judge, Judge Garcia Rodrigo, indicates that Judge Gilleece's insights and encouragement changed the way she handled the cases. I quote Judge Garcia Rodrigo, "It's like she had a magic wand for judicial wisdom. One wave, and suddenly everything made sense." I give the last set of comments to our presiding judge, Lisa Rogan. By the way, I would pay Judge Rogan to say these things about me. Judge Gilleece has navigated a demanding yet vital role of caring for some of the most vulnerable members of our community. Under her leadership, probate has expanded to all corners of our county, from Rancho Cucamonga to Fontana to Victorville, and I can't believe it, to Needles. In addition to her leadership in probate, Judge Gilleece immediately identified the California CARE Act as a program that belonged under the auspices of the probate department and under her leadership. From the infant stages of the CARE Act in our county to its recent full implementation, Judge Gilleece has provided our larger community all the privileges of access for those who may otherwise be unable to access the mental health care and treatment that they so richly deserve to access and need. Judge Rogan goes on to note that Judge Gilleece's compassion for her work is unmatched. She is a quiet yet fierce advocate for all those that she serves. On a personal level, there are not many presiding judges that are ever going to address a personal level. But on a personal level, Judge Rogan made it clear that, quote, Judge Gilleece is a beautiful soul, whom she has had the honor to serve with and counts and calls a friend. Judge Rogan notes, Judge Gilleece is all that one would imagine a great judge should be. She is unafraid to make a hard and even at times heartbreaking call